Tell me what you think, though, because you've been on about how you prefer your Bond girls to be a certain way. She's just like an everyday, like she's very naive, right? But she gets tougher over time, but she's very naive. And I really appreciate her naivete. Her like, we're going to go to Vienna.
Yeah.
We're going to go to London. You know, like she's all romantic about defecting and Bond's like, yeah, you're caught up in a big web that you don't understand.
She starts punching people towards the end and taking the AK.
So my take on her, I think she's a better actress than Tanya Roberts, for one.
Both faults move at once.
1,000%, yes.
1,000% better. I think the way they wrote her character, they really, because the last movie sets Bond up with several women, like the one thing at the same time, the one thing I kind of don't like about this movie and I kind of like appreciate about the movie is that, and I don't like it because it just kind of ruins the mystique of Bond in a way for me. The fact that he can get all these women and we don't really see that in this movie. We see like a very small glimpse of it. And then he's just kind of focused on this one girl the entire film, but we're kind of like, why are you hung up on this girl?
Yeah.
That being said, it gives more time to focus on her and like, they go on this date and like, you know, you get a little more sense of who she is and how she kind of got wrapped up in this whole thing. Like she reminds me of Romanova from Russia with Love in that sense.
They both get dresses, right?
But Romanova was playing naive. This girl actually is very naive.
And I know like the last time you were talking about how you're like, well, Tanya Roberts is just an ordinary girl and she's like, in over her head. And like this, I'm buying that. The last time I'm like, Tanya Roberts just sounds dumb to me. I don't know about you.
I mean,
guys,
I honestly think that Kara, I think Kara is, I think she's dumber and less capable than Goodnight, but she actually transforms. That's what I'm saying. Is that like in the beginning she's very soft and she's like this, and then over time, I just don't see the purpose for why Bond sets himself up to seduce her at the fair.
What's wrong? Why do we stop?
I arranged it.
I arranged it because I want to hook up with you. It's like,
all right,
why?
Yeah, it feels like a left field moment for a character that we've known to do. It just goes back to that thing where it's like they were trying to rewrite Bond to like just to like update with the times, but it doesn't work at all because it's
out
just
of nowhere.
Like it doesn't work because I'm like I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it, man.
The romance is like is honestly kind of close to like the Secret Service romance where it's like, look, they're doing romantic things together and now they're in love, you know, as opposed to really feeling like
there's not like
Bond doesn't give a shit about her.
And here's the thing, I disagree in that because I think Honor Majesty's Secret Service at least has this
I know. Go talk to Nikolai about it. Go talk to fucking Nikolai the Quack about it.
That movie has a little bit of like, okay, I'm messed up, you're messed up. You know, that little bit. And this movie doesn't have that. There's no like what's common between us thing. That doesn't exist in this.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm like, that's where I'm like, unless it's an opposites attract thing where she's like has never been outside and he's always been everywhere, if you want to count that.
I'm posing as Koskov's friend to see what leads I can get from her.
He's running through this whole thing the whole time, trying to pump her for information and all that.
Pump her for information.
And then like all of a sudden, he's like, let it happen. If there was a purpose to that, if it was like, you need to turn her from Koskov or something, but it just happens.
I kind of disagree with you, and I can see that like it's more of a ploy to be like, how do you gain someone's trust? Well, if you are you romantically linked with somebody, then you are more likely to gain their trust in them telling everything.
Yeah, but that's kind of my point, where what we've been talking about is how the producers are legitimately trying to craft a love story here to get away from Bond's general misogyny. And instead, she's just always an asset to him. He never really falls in love with her. It's the same old Bond love, you know, so, and it never really leads to anything. It led to nothing. Like,
well, we know about the cello and we knew about like, you know, but that, I don't know.
It didn't lead to anything.
I guess,
you know,
I'm not going to fight you too much on that, but I'm just like,
because at the end of the day, you don't care in general.
This movie, there's two moments in this movie where I'm like, if this was played by the actress who played Goodnight or Tanya Roberts, I'd be like, I fucking hate this moment. And those two moments specifically are, actually there's three. there's 3 moments in this movie where she does something that's kind of dumb. And one of those moments is when she's like, I have to get my cello.
My cello. It's at the conservatoire. I must get my cello.
No way.
I have to get my cello. And Bond's like, it's just like Bond being the boyfriend, but like, why the f do we need to go get your cello? We need to get the f out of here.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I need my cello. Luckily, they use the cello to like in the plot. Like it.
Yeah.
It
Bond
moves
even
the plot
says, he's like, I'm
forward.
glad I insisted.
Glad I insisted you brought that cello.
And then the second 2 moments are like when they're in Afghanistan and she's driving and she's like, but wait, Bond. And
when he's in the plane and she's like,
Yeah.
hey.
But hey,
He's
Bond,
like,
you
Jesus
forgot about me.
Christ.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
bitch, I got to get out of here. I gotta
And Dalton plays that beautifully where he's like,
So when they're in the plane, this is the 3rd moment where I'm like, she does something kind of dumb that's like, come on. She flies the plane, but then she looks back and then she opens the bay doors. Did she do that for a reason?
No.
She was like, surely Bond can use this.
Yeah, but was it only because the producers or the writers were like, okay, well, we have this cool stunt idea we want to do.
I mean,
so we
if
need to have
Bond
her
had
open
been
the
like,
doors.
open the bay door. But even
that's
then,
that
what
was the
lever
one
is
moment
it?
where I was like confused. I'm like, did this need to happen? Was there a reason that was she motivated to do that? Or
Not
were they
at
like,
all.
oh no, she thinks that she has to do something and she does it?
She gets one slight peek of Necros, right? So then that's what she bases the decision on.
If she was doing a whole bunch, like remember when Goodnight was just hitting all the buttons?
Just push every damn button, will you?
If she was like trying to do something and she's hitting this and she's turning that and she's twisting that and then it opens the bay door, like that would have made more sense. But it's literally she just looks down and just pulls that one lever. And then right when Bond gets back and says his Bond joke,
What happened?
He got the boot.
she's just flying directly into a mountain. You had one job, you know.
So overall, I think I think back when you were talking about like you were harping on me about like, but that's her character, man. That's her character. That's why she does this thing. And you were talking about Maude Adams and Goldenfinger, and I'm like, I didn't buy it. This I will buy that.
Man with the
that's
golden
her
gun.
character. The man with the golden gun. Whatever. I don't.
Golden finger.
I'm saying it for the audience.
The man with the golden finger. The man.
The man with the golden
Shut
finger.
up, Scott.
McCurdy, shut up.
But that's the thing. I will believe. I'm on board of believing this character than I am some of the other ones. As much as like
I
she
agree.
does do some incompetent things,
She's very
I
naive.
believe her.
Yeah.
She's naive,
Yeah.
but I believe the naivete, and it works for the movie.
Because in the performance, it's conveyed in the performance.
Yeah, and it doesn't hurt the movie, and she does, like you said, she does change. So it's not like to me, she's not one of the worst Bond women.
And
in
she's
the
not a
films.
KGB agent. She's just like a normal person.
I was just thinking, if she was an agent, then it would be slightly different.
then we'd be having the same shouting match as we did in Man with the Golden Gun, where you're like, the two of you were like, she should be more capable. And I'm like, she is, but she's unlucky. But that then gets into like a screenwriting thing. This simplifies it. It's like she's a normal person and she gets tougher over time. She starts throwing punches. She starts does she pick up guns? Like
she grabs the AK from the main Mujahideen guy and says, "We got to go save Bond."
James is trapped. You must help him.
He'll have to take his chances.
You can't leave him. You owe him your life.
There's nothing more I can do.
Yes, there is.
Okay, that too. Why was she so upset that Cameron Shaw let Bond go? Because is it not better? I mean, I understand that because she did that, they rescued him. But like Bond was undercover, like literally had his face covered, and then just made the mistake, I guess, of showing his face at the worst moment when he walks out of the plane. But like the plan was that Bond was going to go with them, plant the bomb, and then like fuck off. And then the plane would have just exploded. But why was she all upset? Why she's like, Cameron Shaw, you coward, you let him go. And he's like, yeah, bitch, that's part of the plan. Like we can't go invade this. We can't go pick a fight because Bond has the element of surprise, and he's going to plant a bomb, and that bomb's going to explode, and we don't have to do a goddamn thing. So let Bond go and then like join our harem.
Don't worry, I'll save you for the harem.